and we were sent to a huge compound in which they tried, at least, to produce petrol for the planes from coal. They had enough coal in Poland and in Russia where they had occupied, and they had invented a formula to make out of that coal fuel for the planes. And they had needed us to build that. I don't know if to call it a factory or I shouldn't call it a factory. Should use another word for it, but I don't know for the moment the English right word for it. Anyhow, it was a compound of several kilometers, square kilometers, in which I was assigned to a group of youngsters of my age to build pipelines of all kinds of, how do we call that?
Diameter.
Diameter, right. All kinds of diameters. Small ones and big ones and high ones. There were the diameters, we could walk through them. All kinds of these pipelines we had to construct for them to be able to produce let's call it that fuel from coal. When I arrived there, they were already producing sugar from it, they were producing margarine from it, but they had not yet reached the point of making fuel for the planes, but they were on the way of it. And of course, the Americans and the British knew about that factory, and whenever the day arrived, or the days arrived in which they were to start producing that fuel, the planes came and bombed that whole compound, that factory, so that they never really were able to start to make that fuel. Now, as I said in the beginning, I received an Auschwitz number because our camp in Blechhammer was 50 kilometers away from Auschwitz. It was, as a matter of fact, an Auschwitz, how can I say?
Satellite factory.
Satellite, not factory, satellite camp.
Yeah.
This factory was not satellite to Auschwitz. The camp, our camp, was a satellite camp of Auschwitz. That's why we received that Auschwitz number and the Auschwitz cloth. Now, why do I mention this? We asked, we prayed, bomb us, but go further on and bomb our camp and the other camp in the surrounding. Anyhow, we are condemned to death. So, not only bomb that camp, not that factory, but bomb our the camp too. But they never did. We knew about two ways of bombing. There was the American way of bombing, which we called the bombing, how do we call that? Carpet, a bombing carpet. The masses of high-flying planes came and dropped bombs just without, so that everything they covered was destroyed. And there was the British way of bombing. They came with Spitfires, low-flying Spitfires, and knew exactly where to shoot or to bomb into, so as to hit the main, how do I name it, the main factory where they were to produce that fuel. Of course, there were also planes shot down, and not once we saw American soldiers who paratrooped into that area and was, of course, taken prisoners. Now, the particular thing which was is that in that factory, the Germans had, of course, built bomb shelters which were very effective. And the interesting thing about this, that we, as Jews, of course, not only we Jews worked there were Czechs, and freed Germans and freed French and British and American prisoners. A lot of people worked in there. We Jews were allowed to go into those shelters together with all other free people. So that we were sheltered from those bombs dropped by the American planes as well as anywhere. And although bombs hit those shelters, and in one of the shelters there was twice a bomb hit it, nothing happened to it. We fell all down, of course, but no one was hurt, the shelter wasn't destroyed. In those days, the biggest bomb that they had were 250 kilograms, I don't know, for 500 pounds, let's call it, more or less, in an American value. And that did not destroy those bomb shelters.